Today we're back with another Fitter's Choice video in the tour van. Today it's Fairway woods, core/max Fairway woods we call them, the standard model in the series. We've got our Fitter's Choice results, and we're going to highlight the two best models and tell you why these two in particular are the best Fairway woods of 2025. Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf here in the tour van at Second Swing Minnetonka. Tyler Fitzel's with me, Master Club Fitter. And as I mentioned, this is a Fitter's Choice video. So I'll let Tyler explain exactly what that is. But essentially, our fitters got together and voted and had a list of what was the best in every category. And Ping G440 Max and Titleist GT2 were the top in this category. So can you give me a little more detail on Fitter's Choice? And also, we'll kind of lead into then what you've seen from these two models and why maybe they were so highly thought of by the fitters.
Yeah, one of the things that we see on a day-by-day basis with our customers is, we're trying some of these products. It's like every company's got their new stuff. We want to find out, well, how is this working? What is it doing? Is it getting someone, more launch, more spin? Is this something that's more workable, less workable? Like all of the options that customers are looking for. So we're trying to get to those in a fitting, and we're doing it with these brands of equipment. So all across the board, we ask our fitters to please kind of give their thoughts in what's been doing well. So we come across the last couple here, and especially in the fairway woods, you get to these core models. These are the best on the market that we've seen. It doesn't slight anyone at all. Everyone's making great product. I like to tell people, it's like your best shots are going to be your best shots no matter what you've got. What every company is looking at is trying to kind of get the miss better. So if we're talking about, hey, if I've been a fairway guy and I've been hitting a certain brand for a while, as you get in here and you try a couple of these things out, you might find, hey, this is a different brand for me now.
Yes.
But we're just highlighting what we're seeing, what our customers are seeing, the success that they're seeing with it, and we're just trying to relay that message on to you guys.
I think it is important to make that note that just because, there's only two that we're going to highlight today for this video, but there are also a plethora of really good options in this category. So you have Ping G440 Max, I have Titleist GT2, others that were closely in contention. TaylorMade QI35, Callaway Elite, Cobra DS, Adapt X. So I'm sure those have all done really well for you.
Very
fit
well.
Several golfers into those models. So what we're going to do today is just do a little head-to-head test here, see how these two in particular compare. Talk to me about what we're doing in terms of shaft here as well.
Yeah, so one of the things it did was just grab kind of the 75-gram low launch, low spin shaft. That's one of the things I want to try to just keep as a constant, not necessarily a variable, so we're not changing up. Every company's got a multitude of different shafts to choose from. So just kind of wanted to keep that, your swing type's a little bit on the faster side, so I want support and stability. That's one of the reasons I grabbed these.
Sure. Yeah, and then we got 3 woods, 15 degrees. We're going to hit some shots.
Let's do it.
Starting with GT2, what I like, with Titleist, they don't go away from what works. And what works for a lot of people is just how clean and straightforward the look is. Every year with their woods, they haven't really, going back to really all of the TS series, been clean black. They have the little icon at the, for alignment purposes, but there's nothing else there to distract you. Whereas, other brands kind of throw colors or lines or, other things on there to, not I want to say distract you, but to make it a little bit unique.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, good swing there. Nice.
Yep. Just a little bit open face, but yeah, that feels pretty good, and that's a pretty good spin rate to monitor, right? You probably wanted around 3,000 with 3 wood for the most part.
and that question comes up quite a bit, especially in our fittings, as a customer misses like, well, what should I be? Should is a really tough word in this game because it's not what it should be, it's what it is. In other words, on a shot-by-shot basis, you've got different environmental conditions, just different swing conditions. So you'd like to have a range, and that's a nice range for that launch.
Yeah, I like that a lot. If I can hit that a few more times, I'll feel pretty good about this club. That was a good ball right there.
Yeah, it's a good swing. So good,
There you go.
well, club speed and ball speed, the smash factor. We talk a lot about the smash factor with the driver because it's on a tee and there shouldn't be a whole lot of resistance to it. We start talking about fairway woods, that smash factor is still a factor, but it's also a little bit more dependent on the turf condition and the type of hit that you get out of it.
Right.
But it can't really be more than 1.50,
Yeah.
and that at 1.49. So we've got really good launch, really good spin, really good carry distance. Excellent.
Yeah, that one felt really good.
Yeah, let's hit another one.
Hit one probably slightly on the toe there, which actually helped in terms of distance because that spin went down a little bit. There's another good one.
Yeah, again, really nice. Great carry distance, launch, spin's good. Smash was 1.50 again.
Yeah, I mean that's right there is my standard shot shape, I guess.
Yeah.
See if I can get it. I mean, see if I can get one maybe a little higher in the air. That definitely launched higher. It's probably going to be a little knuckler because it was a little bit kind of high on the face.
Yeah, it was. But that's okay too. Again, it's the exact same shot. It's very predictable for that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the miss.
Yeah.
That's very, like you said, very acceptable. Let me see if I can get one more good one here. Okay, so that's I was curious about that one because that was definitely far off the heel.
Yeah.
We did see that carry distance dip. Probably what from the average, probably 10 to 15 yards. In terms
15 towards 20. Yeah. And it was a good hit. In terms of that, you had the ball speed again. Smash factor was high with it, so it was a solid hit. But yeah, the launch was a little lower and the spin went up. It probably was a little on the heel. That's one of the things that we talk about, like with either one of these, is the companies are really trying to gear the equipment for the miss. And so when we talk about if you were to hit it low, that was a low launch, but it had a lot of spin, so that actually kept that ball in the air a lot longer. Right. And that's an important factor to this, is that spin helps to create that lift. Yeah. And we want that lift to keep that ball moving. Yeah. All of the fairway woods now are designed this way, but there's pay special attention. Every company has got some sort of a unique design. In Titleist, they're talking about the way that they're engineering that whole face. Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about
kind of that L cup, Forge L cup face.
Yep, correct.
And that one, Kevin talks about the quadrant of death, where you hit low and in the heel, which is what that one was. Yep. But yeah, I think, overall with this club, I know there's probably, that makes a lot of sense with how that played out. Yeah, what I like about this club is it seemed pretty easy, and it had a ton of pop off the face when I hit a few of those solid, right, and the four solid swings I put on the ball all carried 260 yards, and then I had obviously the one kind of heel ball that, again, we're talking about the carry distance dipping about 15 yards, probably 10 to 15 yards on that one. So that is worth noting, but again, super hot and again, clean to look at as well. Anything else that jumps out at you from these 5 swings here?
Like I mentioned, I think that the smash factor is an important piece of data that we look at, and it really is geared towards the driver, but it tells us a little bit more about how it's going with any of these clubs. And so for the fairway wood to have a smash factor this high, you're hitting it very solid. So club speed's there, ball speed's there. This is a really nice launch and spin. Like we mentioned, we had one that was a little low and on the heel. That's okay. And so we're going to have that. It's still on the edge of the fairway, and it still goes 260, and it's still carry wise, it's 200.
I'm just hitting maybe another club or club and a half into the green that I wouldn't with the other shots up there, but still really, I think it's pretty darn. I can see why there's some love from the fitters here. And then, if we really wanted to do a deep dive and make this video super long, right, we could get into the hosel and all the different adjustments you can make there. But
really solid.
G440 Max now. Should we do it?
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the Ping G440 Max. This is, again, one of the top fairway woods that we've seen on the market, along with the Titleist GT2 that we've been hitting here. These are core models.
Yes.
And what we're looking at today in the Fitter's Choice testing that we're doing is it's like, how are these looks feels,
Yeah.
comparing numbers, and seeing kind of like, is there a major difference between them?
Yeah.
Now, you've played ping
Yes, I have.
for a while.
Yeah.
So
Now I have the G425 LST, so a couple generations, but that's the 3-wood I've used now. This is going to be my 5th year using it. I mean, I was G425 when it first came out. I grabbed that LST and put it in the bag. I will say, looks-wise, there's a couple things different. Obviously, you kind of see this carbon fly wrap a little bit on the backside there.
Yep.
And then also, to me, you just see a lot more of the kind of the grooves on the face. They have them pretty distinctly kind of painted, filled in their white.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's jumping out at me a little bit. But the shape, I feel like, is pretty similar. It's obviously rounded a little bit. More weight, more mass behind on these kind of core or max models and the low spin ones. So, but yeah, still, I mean, it's a clean looking fairy wood for sure.
Well, let's see what this does.
That was slightly low on the face, but it's pretty good results for all things considered. I remember the GT2 that I hit low on the face ended up being, I think, pretty similar in distance. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's like almost 7.5 degrees. It was about, I know the spin was in the 3000s. That's almost a carbon copy.
Oh, that felt pretty good. Ooh.
Well, the one thing I'm seeing out of this, at least for the moment, is this is a little bit straighter for you.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's just because you're comfortable with the kind of the size and the shape and the coloring, right? Like
Sure.
this is essentially just the newer version of what you've already got in your bag, and that plays into this. It's like you get comfortable with that, and you're hitting it like you've actually got your club speeds faster, your ball speeds faster.
Yeah, I will say the spin to this point has been a little higher, which again isn't always a bad thing. And for me, it's probably a good thing, just because I'm relatively low spinning, and I'm almost hitting up on the ball. I am technically hitting up on the ball with my 3-wood.
Right, and so if you look at the technology, and that's kind of where we talk about the core model here. The reason we're going with the core model is to kind of see was like, this is the one designed kind of for everyone.
Yeah.
But you start getting into the nitty gritty of all of these club companies, and you're going to find a lower launch 3-wood, a higher launch 3-wood. Ping now
maybe
has
a draw bias.
Yeah, exactly.
With 3-wood even, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's not when you start talking about a 3-wood right now. There's at least 5 versions in every company.
Yeah. Then of course, as we mentioned with GT2, there's adjustable hosel.
Yeah, that's right. If we want to kind of start to include some of the mini drivers or the small, the big 3-woods.
Ooh, there's my first one that's offline. Little open face there.
But one of the reasons I think we see the spin a little higher is that you do have a tendency for your attack angle to kind of come up slightly through.
Yeah.
And with lower strikes, especially on the ping, they talk about the technology that they have called spincicity. Yep. And it's this idea that the curvature of the face, much like we talked about with the Titleist as well, the curvature of the face on the bottom is got more curve to create more launch, to create more spin on a bottom side hit.
Yeah.
That quadrant, or the 2 quadrants on the bottom, that's going to help achieve lift. It's going to help achieve carry distance.
Yep. Basically, it's like the loft is actually slightly changed on the bottom portion here, a little bit different than what it's stated, to kind of help with the misses when you hit down there, because that is the common miss with fairy woods, is hitting it low on the face for so many people, especially hitting off the turf. Speaking of low face. Yep. I will say, for the swings I've made, I mean, again, I just had 2 that were wildly different and not good, but the spin rate and the carry distance hasn't changed a ton on them. This one could dive left. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's, you did this with the Titleist as well. Try to create a little bit more loft and see what happens. Just try try to hit one higher and just see what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely higher.
Yep. It was. But we didn't see a lot of difference in the spin. One of the things that I'll ask a customer as we're in the process of fitting any club for that matter is, let's try and see just try something and see what happens for a particular shot. If we, try 2 or 3 swings and we might see the pattern that develops from that.
Yeah.
That can be important. It's not that, hey, we've got concrete evidence that XYZ is happening. It still could have been A, B, and C. But it's this idea that, hey, I have the shot within this club too, and we're seeing that in here.
Yeah.
We talk about also, it was like one of the reasons that we really like to look at our Fitter's Choice awards inside as what's going on, is that the variables are like next to nothing here. So we aren't dealing with outside. We don't have wind or rain or environment.
Hitting out the same spot every time.
Yeah, we've got the same spot. We got a flat lie. When we get outside, all of this changes. And so I tell people all the time, the environment will change what happens to the shot.
So the results that you see from the club will change a little bit, but you still, the important thing is that you're still confident in it.
Yeah.
That whatever you end up getting fit for, or the confidence you have in what you're playing, can kind of withstand these different variables that pop up. So
yeah,
I'll give it one more swing here.
Okay.
If that turns over, it should be pretty good.
I was going to say.
Oh, it didn't turn over. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you hit it really well. I saw that.
I did.
The ball speed pop up right away. Really good smash factor to that.
Yeah. Yeah. The face angle is just not quite, a little behind the club path, if you will, there. But
so one of the things I'm looking at is we compare some of the numbers to this. We're talking a little bit about the club speed, the ball speed, the launch, and the spin. You've got really good club speed to ball speed. Your smash factor relationship here is 1.48 in the Titleist and 1.49. So we're talking about really solid hits. If you look back at the Titleist, we had about 10 degrees of launch and 2,700 RPMs on average, versus 9 degrees and about 3,300, almost 3,400. So that spin difference is really one of the major driving forces in terms of the differences between these two clubs. You didn't get as much spin, and you had a little bit more launch with the Titleist. You got a little bit less launch and more spin with the Ping. You had the same sort of ball speed, the same sort of club speed, the same sort of efficiency and contact.
Right. It's just that spin is the driving force and the difference in the distance for sure. Because with the Ping, again, I mean, the ball speed is literally the same on these particular selected shots that we, call it the swings that we've chosen that are, worth being looked at here.
Well, and another thing,
the non-outliers.
Yeah, another thing to that too is if you want to talk a little bit about the swing itself, your average club path was slightly in to out as it normally is. Your face angle is slightly open, but not as much compared to the path, which it normally is. Your attack angle is the same. We're looking at virtually two very similar clubs, which is what we tried to design them to do. But now you can see where if you come into me and you don't have enough spin, I might be leaning between these two and saying, hey, the Ping is our option. Because what the Ping's going to do is it's going to climb higher, it's going to have a steeper landing angle, and it's going to stop a little bit quicker. And so if you're coming in and saying, I really need that club at about 250 yards going into things like par threes, or I'm sorry, par fives. Or if you're looking at
long par three.
or a long par three and getting it to stop, this would be my choice for that. So again, it goes back to, well, how does this fit for you?
Right.
And it's not how it fits for me.
And that's the big thing to me taken away from this. Is it's kind of nice for this particular, Fitter's Choice kind of results, is that the top two in the category for us in this test have a pretty distinct different purpose. So, if a player does have a lot of spin, maybe they're a different swing than I have, where they're cutting across it, they're, opening the face, and they got a lot of spin, and that thing's kind of floating. GT2 is a fairway in this category that's forgiving, but also has pretty low spin to help that player get the distance they can out of their swing. So, this is really good. I mean, this is really nice to compare two of the best fairway woods out there. I think, and again, all the other options we talked about, QI35, Elite, there's really good options out there. You got to come test them, get fit with one of our fitters. And Tyler's been in the weeds on this all year long, working with golfers. So, but these were two of the really good ones. We saw that today. I didn't put my best swings on them, but I think we also saw right away a pretty distinct difference between, which is the idea here to show people.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Tyler, thank you for joining. This was excellent. I'll let you sign off.
Keep your grooves clean and stay razor sharp.